So currently, with the Legend of Zelda's 40th anniversary, there's a lot of games that are supposedly going to happen. Leaks, rumors, and a lot of information towards the 40th anniversary. But if we were specifically talking in which games are most likely going to happen, because currently we have the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 4K remaster from the ground up, the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess 4K remaster, the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess combo pack. We also have the Legend of Zelda A Link Between World at some point. We got the Oracle games getting a remake from together, putting them together and making a game out of it. We also have other things to do with other Legend of Zelda games, which it leads you to believe what in the world is going on here. Now, if it were up to me, I'd probably be saying we were getting these certain number of games. In today's video, I'm going to be trying to explain why I think we are going to be seeing these certain games. So anyways, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so out of all the Legend of Zelda games, there's definitely a lot of good options for a remake or a ground up remake, and one game that needs it the most is honestly the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Because when you think of the Legend of Zelda, usually you probably go straight to Ocarina of Time. This is pretty much the big boom where the Legend of Zelda really feels like the Legend of Zelda. But there's other games that would definitely need more of a ground up remake, like the Oracle games. These haven't been touched in a long time. But usually, if it's a big anniversary like this one, Nintendo doesn't seem to release other games or non-most popular games. If you look at Ocarina of Time, this is pretty much their popular games, from the 90s all the way to the 2000s when they remastered it or remade it for the DS. No matter how you think of that, usually I would say the 3DS version is a remaster, not a remake, but you can say your own. So, if we were truly going to be getting a Legend of Zelda game, the ground up remake for Twilight Princess does make a lot of sense, because that game really describes adventure, really describes fun with the Legend of Zelda, and the 40th anniversary not seeing it would be a little bit disappointing. But also, a ground up remake would fix a lot of things. Usually with 2D games, you can go back and play them with fairly ease, 2D games are easy to control, they work just fine, and honestly, you don't really have to put too much work for them. And speaking with the Oracle games, I think later on, not in 2026, we will be seeing the Oracle games. But for right now, since it's this big of an anniversary, we're probably going to be getting the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the ground up remake that fixes a lot of controls, hopefully. That fixes a lot of the art style. And if Nintendo just turns around and says, you know what? You guys are getting a remaster of the 3DS version, I think a lot of Nintendo fans would be pretty upset about that, because sure, the 3DS version does work good, it looks good, but to be honest, the controls definitely aren't standard to today's knowledge. It just doesn't feel the same. You really gotta point your camera, struggle with that, because that was one of the big reasons that I disliked Ocarina of Time. I know, it might be shocking, but I wasn't a big fan of Ocarina of Time the first time around, to be honest. But it's okay nowadays. We could probably start to see the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time come to the Switch too. I think it's going to happen, and it's going to be great. A remake, so let's just say things start to change. That's okay. You get a different version of the game. If you like the N64 version, you could go back and play the N64 version. No matter which way Nintendo takes it, this is probably going to upset Nintendo fans, but hopefully they take it well. A ground up remake is much deserved for this game. The game is great, a lot of people might not have played it, and just seeing different changes that they can implement, like for example, a more intuitive way to ride your horse, so it feels better instead of a more like a brick on wheels that's kind of moving, galloping. It just doesn't feel great. So maybe some more intuitive motion, maybe some bigger, better graphics, 4K HD, some textures that look like they came out of space. Who knows? That would be really interesting. Now, jumping straight over to the next Legend of Zelda game. Now, this one's definitely interesting. We're not going to be seeing a remake if we get the Ocarina of Time, so it's going to have to be a remaster. Usually in every anniversary, we do start to see a remaster. And what better remaster than the long-rumored Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD and 4K. Now, I've been saying for a long time, we are going to be seeing the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And now that we got the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD or Not So HD on the GameCube application, it really complicates things here. Because usually you could just say, well, we didn't get it on the GameCube, so we are going to be getting an actual game. But now that it is on the GameCube application, Nintendo doesn't like to release things multiple times over. So it really begs the question, what in the world is going on here? Because honestly, for the Nintendo Switch Wind Waker, I think it's fine, but there's definitely some things missing from it. Like the ability to have some actual seamless controls. Like the seamless controls on the Wind Waker were honestly really great. I didn't care so much about the fast sail. I just thought that the controls were really great. And how could they implement this? Because you won't have the touchpad anymore. You won't be able to look down on your screen and say, you know what, I want to go to Destin AB. So you make your way over there. Or is it numbers? Whatever the case may be. But overall, I think that these games are probably going to happen. We are going to be seeing some sort of remaster. And since it's the 40th anniversary, once again, it makes too much sense to release these games. It doesn't make sense to not release these games and say, you know what, guys, we got ourselves the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remaster, just remaster, guys, just remaster. So make sure that you go ahead and pick that up. See, it doesn't really feel great to see that, but a remake of the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time with a whole bunch of added controls, maybe a new area, whatever the case may be, that'd be cool. And then the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess. There, I said it. Those are the two games that we are going to be seeing, because if they are a combo pack, it's technically 2 games, but it's also 3 games. Yeah, it's a little bit confusing here. So, anyways, what do you think about this? Do you think that we are going to be seeing these games, or do you think you're going to be seeing something else? Because honestly, if it were up to me, I would say we're getting The Legend of Zelda A Link Between Worlds. I really love that game. That game is my favorite Legend of Zelda, or 2D Legend of Zelda. I would say we're getting Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess. We're also going to be seeing The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. I mean, Ocarina of Time wasn't my favorite game, I'm sorry to say. And also we're seeing some Oracle games, and we can't forget about every other Legend of Zelda in the books. So yeah, 3 games, 2 games, whatever the case may be. It's going to be interesting. So what are your hopes for the 40th anniversary of the Legend of Zelda series? Are your hopes exactly what I explained, or are they different? Because there's a lot of Legend of Zelda games that deserve a remaster or a remake. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Consider hit the like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. I do a bunch of different Nintendo content, Pokemon, Mario, Zelda, and pretty much anything known to Nintendo. So anyways, thank you so much. See you in the next one.